Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Stanley. Nice to have you here. Right, so we're going to begin shortly. We're just going to give a few minutes for people to still come in because it's just 4:01. So saying like 2-3 minutes would begin. Please exercise patience and let's wait for more people to come in and join us. To signify if you can hear me properly, Stanley, you can turn on your mic. I think the mic feature has been enabled. So you can turn it on. Mr. Richard, can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you, Femi.
Okay, maybe he's not close to his phone number. We'll just wait 2-3 minutes for people to still come in.
Can you guys see my screen? I'm sharing already.
Yes, we can see your screen. Maybe we can go ahead and begin. I don't know. Stanley, can you hear me? Ada, can you hear me properly?
I can hear you, Femi, but
Yeah, I think you can unmute your mic, guys. The feature has been enabled for you to unmute your mic if you want to speak.
okay. Well, yeah, maybe we should start.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
Stanley has said he can hear us, so I
All
guess
right.
we can go.
All right.
If you can, yeah, are we recording already?
Yes, we're recording.
Okay. All right, so let's start. There's a lot to go through, and anybody that is not here now will
To join in.
be will join or be able to see the recording.
The
Okay,
recording.
so yeah, welcome everyone to another webinar around Requstory. And this one we've tagged from moving from ideas to the power of Requstory, bringing your ideas to life efficiently, and that's what we will try and do today. What it means to bring your idea. One of the great things around how AI has helped the world today is you can easily get your ideas on a pedestal and get it going. I know people who have raised funds for their startups just off the back of prototypes and user stories and what the application would do. So this is where you bring your ideas to life, and you can quickly do that using Requstory, and we'll try and touch on that as much as possible, today. Um, One of the good things around the world today also in terms of ideas is you could be able to you're able to see something that's happening in the news or anywhere, and you could build up a career or an application just of the bat of the bat and of that simple thing that you see in the news. So just to prepare for today's presentation, I wanted to see what was happening around the world. and there was a news item I saw today around businesses, and it was around this. Sterling Bank fined this amount of money for lax financial crime controls, and I'm sure for so many of us and so many people will know around how financial crime is an issue. And if you're looking to get into the world of product management or building applications generally, I'm sure it will interest you to see how financial crime systems are built. So one of the things I wanted to do today was, okay, based off this news, let's try and see the user stories that are necessary for building financial crime controls system. So that's what I want us to build this afternoon. This is just an idea that we're trying to bring to life. And just by way of how we want to go also today, if anyone has any ideas that they want us to quickly drop user stories for and prototype, please drop it in the chat. We'll be able to do one or two things if time permits this afternoon. So I'll say we're building a financial crime controls system. We're assuming we're a bank. So let's call ourselves ABC Bank. ABC Bank. And what's the project we're doing? A financial crime controls system for ABC Bank. And so this is where we usually drop. If you're working on Requstory, you can put up a logo. Let's just quickly grab one image of a bank. Yeah, we could use this. Let's just save this image. And then we could just use it here. So yeah, that would serve as our logo. It will help us identify that project. So this is ABC Bank, and we're looking for a financial crime control system for ABC Bank. So what we're going to generate next are user stories, and user stories just tell us what a user wants to see when they interact with a system. Now, we could do this manually or we could do this automatically, but let's use an AI to generate some user stories for ABC Bank's financial crime control system. And these are some of the user stories, some of the personas as a compliance officer, as a customer of the bank, as a fraud analyst, as a branch manager. There's another user story as a compliance officer, another as a bank, another as a risk member of the risk management team. And we could create more. So let's look at creating more user stories. The more you prompt the system, the more you'll get. So we also get about another 8 set of user stories relating to financial crimes control for a bank. One of these user stories says, I expect my personal information and financial data to be securely stored and protected for fraud. Yeah, that's what the user would expect from such a system. A compliance auditor is asking that he wants to conduct thorough audits of the bank's financial controls, obviously. So that means whatever system you're building for, whatever system you're putting in place, it needs to be one where a compliance auditor will be able to interact. We could also tweak some of these prompts, and this is why we have this button. So we've generated 16 user stories around financial crime control system for ABC Bank. We could also say, let's control system. We could say financial crime control, the access. So we just want to generate user stories based on some things that we know, access to the financial crime control system or ABC Bank. So we've just tweaked that prompt a bit, and what this will do will be to allow us just to have user stories that relates to access and not just the entire system. So if you click on create user story here, it will also go and generate more user stories. And so this has user stories that relates to access. These are all related to access. Who has access to that system. I like this user story, for instance, 23 says, as a non-English speaking employee, I need the financial crime sector to have multilingual support. So you can see how access, changing the prompts to access, gives you more user stories around what to build into your project. I could edit this again and talk about the kind of system, access to financial control for a business using mobile apps, because we've said a system and it's giving us user stories around the system, but now we've just updated it to say we want to use mobile apps. Give us user stories that relates to mobile apps, and we click on create user stories, and we'll see it should come up with more user stories around mobile app. As you can see, I want to through a mobile app so I can quickly easily monitor suspicious activities in my account, and it gives us just enough user stories. So for you to get more user stories about a particular concept, some of the things that you need to do is you could just keep clicking here and keep tweaking some of this description. It's taken in the context already. So whatever tweaks you put in, it will generate more user stories for you based on that new context. If you want to create, I would say, let's do something weird and say access to financial crime services from another planet. It's just a weird description, but it's just to show us that it will give us user stories based on whatever prompt we've given to it. Let's see, we've said access to financial crime control system for ABC Bank from another planet. What kind of user story it comes up with, okay? It says, as a financial crime investigator from Zorbon, I want to access ABC Bank's financial crime control system in order to track suspicious transaction. And it's giving us some of these, I know Vulcan is a planet, okay, it's giving us Saturn. So while it's just spewing out names of it's spewing out names of planet or mini planets, this just goes to show you it will generate based on the context. Once you change this context, then you can create more and more user stories. So you're not just stuck with the context that you have from the start. You can change this context and prompt it again to create you more user stories. And based on that, it will change it. But let me delete this. Yeah, so I just need to quickly delete from 33 to 34 because we're just sticking to Earth for now. We're not going to Vulcan or Saturn or any of those planets. So if anybody has any idea around what they want to see in, if anybody has any idea around what they want to see in this set of ABC Bank, please drop it in the chat. I will include it. But just know that this is supposed to help you build whatever you want to build. I think I've got one idea. Let me remove this about planet. It says access to financial crime control system for ABC Bank. No, let's remove access. let's say, upgrade of the financial control system for ABC Bank. So let's say we have a system already and we want to upgrade. What are the user stories? Let's see what he comes up with. So I hope we all understand. Okay, we'll get an error there. Let's just run it again. So if you're using Requstory, sometimes you will get an error like that. It's just because you're using an AI system. Sometimes you can have that. So it's now giving us a new set of user stories, branch manager, compliance. So whatever, it's giving us more user stories just based on upgrade. As a senior executive, I need the upgraded financial crime control system to be cost effective, blah, blah, blah. And if you're BA, if you're a business analyst or product owner or product manager, you should know that once you have you will have a lot of user stories. If you are running a workshop, one of the things that you need to do is do some modeling, determine which of these user stories are correct or which ones are not good enough, based on whoever the stakeholder that is giving them to you is. And you could always modify or update this. Please note that on Requstory, you can always update. So if you want to type in anything to this, any notes, any other thing, you could type it into either the description or the acceptance criteria. If you want to add any clarifying information, one of the features we have coming up will be the ability to also change a few things around or add notes or add project notes to this. So we have a set of user stories. I'm sure we've been on this for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but we have about 40 user stories now that we have generated quickly around this system that we want to build. So this is one of the promise of Requstory, where you have an idea or you have a project idea or you're pondering something, and within 5 minutes you have a set of guiding stories from users, from different types of users that will be using that system around how that system should function. So we've got our user stories. Let's go on and see how to draw a process map. For those who don't know, a process map just shows you whatever project you're investing in, what it will look like step by step. And if we click on once you click on draw process map and Requstory, it comes up with what that process map will look like. Now, this is one of the interesting things around this, is it's taking a few, it's just taking my latest prompt, which is, so it's taking this latest prompt, upgrade of the financial control system of ABC Bank, and that's what it will generate a process map for. But let's quickly change that back to build a financial control system for ABC Bank. And based on that, let's draw a process map. So whatever the last prompt is, that's what your process map will take. But we've amended that now, and it's just this. So if you're building a system for financial control, data collection and analysis, financial crime, development of control measures. So it's giving you a list of how you can do that. Yes, before we go further, also, I wanted to say, if you're using Requstory, one way I would use it is first, I would say create a folder within your system. So I'll create this one and just call it ABC Bank. And once you've created that, within ABC Bank, we've just generated 40 user stories, and I'll save it in AV. I'll save it within that folder. If we go and generate, if we go back and we draw process map, so it's going to spin up another process map for us. Okay, I think now we've gotten something a lot more complex. Yeah, around building a financial crime control system, the context, there's so much here that it has given us. You could always make this better in terms of these process maps by stretching it out, but also you could leave this for you could leave this and just display it like this. One of the things I do is to actually make it smaller so that it fits into the entire screen. Okay, so that it fits into the entire screen. But yeah, build a final, and you could always expand this also. How to build a financial crime control system, transaction monitoring, internal control, risk assessment, investigation process. Just so it's giving you a lot here. And one of the things that you could do is also save to. You could save to file, and you could save it to this file that we built, so you can see user stories in there. And this is the process map also. This is essential. It's essential that you do this because if next time you want to come and continue work on this, you could always just go back in here and open and pick that file itself, the one. So let's say you like this a lot. If you once you leave, you tend to lose it, and if you open it again, another one gets generated. But you could always go back here, and you could just open this and delete it, and then go back here and open this, and it will give you that one that you built initially. So that's one way to ensure you don't lose what you generated, especially when it is exactly what you want. So this is, I think we're really good with this. This gives us a lot of things in terms of what we will need to build. And in terms of our process map, we could easily share this with our stakeholders. So once you've done your process map and you've saved the thing, you could also start work on generating your prototype. Now, this is one of the coolest features, if I can say, around Requstory, because you've drawn your process map, you have your user stories, but you also need to show your stakeholders what each feature will look like. So somebody from compliance, you've used AI to generate user story, but the guys from compliance like this user story a lot. They like this requirement. As a compliance officer, I want to be able to access real-time transactions to track and identify potential financial crimes. But these are just words they need to see. And with the prototype bit, you can actually show them what it will look like, what it does look like when that's built completely. And so this is, and you believe me, if you work in product development, so let me just save this and then open it up, and you can see how it looks. So that's one requirement. As a compliance officer, I want to be able to access real-time transaction data and identify potential financial crime. And this is what that will look like. So a deposit transaction, this is the transaction. And if I filter it, everything comes up. And this way you could say, okay, yes, I can see real-time transaction. A compliance officer, if you're saying, oh, this is the dashboard we'll give to you, it would look like this. And they could say, oh, yeah, I like this. Oh, can you put this button here? Can you put that button there? And then you could take notes. So you could go back to your user story and say, okay, Tony from compliance wants, so let me quickly show you that because it brings it home. So you could come back here and say, oh, acceptance type criteria, Tony from compliance wants a button called flag. And that's part of your acceptance criteria. You've locked that in. You've got this saved. I hope I saved it in. I hope I saved it in the folder. I could always check that back to be sure what folder I saved that in. But you've got that locked down, and anytime you're having discussions with your stakeholders, you're easily able to refer them to what they agreed to build, what you both agreed to develop, and there's the back and forth gets a lot simpler because the prototype feature gives you a lot of control on what needs to be built on and how it's built. So let's say you're speaking to another stakeholder who's who's on the risk management team. You have this requirement for them. They want to be able to set customizable alerts and notification for high risk transactions. Let's generate a prototype that you can show to them, and they can come back and criticize and say, yes, this is right. Okay, so let me save it in ABC Bank. I think one of the last one I did, I didn't save it in ABC Bank. So it automatically saves as your user story ID. So let's see what that looks like. So create new alert and you give it a name, suspicious transaction, whatever. You give it a description. So this is what it will look like. That feature that they've requested for, that user story that they requested for. Now, somebody in risk management might say, no, I like this, but I want us to have another risk alert level, or I want us to have, this is how I want this to look. And then you could always amend that user story or that requirement to say, oh, XYZ from this department has asked for this. So this is that is one of the key features of Requstory, in that you could always easily just create a prototype and save it up, and then use that to drive your discussion. As a business analyst, as a product manager, as a product owner, or as even an entrepreneur or the product lead, this feature gives you a lot because you easily build what people want, not just by user story, but by also giving them the ability to see what you have built. So this is another user story around law enforcement and how you can share data with law enforcement. And this is what a prototype would look like. So if I want to save this also, I'll save it. Like I said, save it into your the folder that you've created for the work that you're doing, and you want to see this you want to see this properly, you can just open it and you can see how it's built. If there's any fields that are missing, you can always include it or remove any field that you don't need. The prototype helps you a lot. It's one of those features that I really find useful with Requstory. So yes, and once you've done all that, you have a folder that is full of everything that you need to build your product. You've got a folder that is full of all your requirements or all your user stories. You've got a folder that's filled with all your you've got a folder that's full of all the requirements, around 40 of them, your user story. You've got a folder that is full of all your prototypes, and you've got one that is full of, okay, the diagram doesn't preview, but that's filled with your process map, the process map for building what you need to build. And you've got something that, and this is, I'm sure for those who are in product management or in projects, this is something that will take weeks, and this is something that would normally take you weeks. We've done it in about 30 minutes, and you have a folder that can kickstart and jumpstart any development work that needs to be done within your organization. That is the power of Requstory. That's what we want you to make to take benefit of. And one of the things I also wanted to chip in is for those who are freelancers or those who are into, say you're a designer, you're a freelancer, you're a UI UX person, and people have come to you and they've said, oh, I want to build this website, or I want to build this solution. One of the things that Requstory offers you is the ability to quickly prototype and knock together something in less than 30 minutes and show them around what you can deliver. Um, I know some of us we Figma and all those amazing Adobe tools are usually good, but if you're having a discussion with someone about, oh, I want to build this solution, and in less than 5 minutes while they're speaking to you, you've come up with a solution that they can use immediately. You should know you effectively have that market cornered, because why wouldn't they do business with you? Because when they know that you've got the tools to quickly prototype and show them what can be done. And that is one of those things that this gives you. You could also use it to build a portfolio document. I was still speaking to someone yesterday who was saying, how do I build a portfolio as a business analyst? I'm like, use tools, write user stories, look for a problem, solve it. This is one problem, financial crime control, that we've solved. If you approach any organization and say, look, I know you're trying to build a financial crime solution. I've written user stories, I've built prototypes. Come and have a look at what I've done. You're almost getting hired because they know you understand the problem. They know you know how to go ahead and try and build solutions. So that's the power of Requstory, to bring your ideas to life, for you to solve problems, and for you to be able to showcase those problems that you solve. Um, so many times, as at least when I started out my career as a business analyst, you can't showcase the work you've done because you've written a requirements document. It's locked up in a vault within whatever organization you're working in, and if you're trying to go into another organization, how are you going to show them their proprietary work? But if somebody is trying to employ you as a product owner or project manager, you can say, I built this, I built you can give them names of stuff you've done, and you could show them a list of stuff you built in Requstory as a side project, and say, look, this is the things I've built, and I know how to build this. I know how to generate user stories. I know how to discuss them. I know how to model them. I know how to make them correct. One of those things I also wanted to show you in Requstory was also that you could manually create a user story and prototype them. So let's say you're prompting the system and it's not giving you the right solution. And for instance, financial crime control system for ABC Bank, and you could just come in and manually write a user story and say, as a customer, I want to see a list of fraudulent ATM ATM in the city I live in. So let's say while you also generated some user stories, but some stakeholders are giving you this and say, oh, we want to see this thing. So I want to see a list of fraudulent ATMs in the city I live in, a map showing ATMs in bad neighborhood. I'm just making this up. And yeah, you can add this user story, and then you could also still go and prototype that user story. So that's user story 10. And see what comes up as prototype. It might not be exactly what you want. It might give you also exactly what you want, depending on how the AI runs. But yes, you could. You don't have to just use AI to write your user stories. You could call up, yeah, you could call up some, and then it will show you how that looks like. So let's see this one that we've just written up, how it looks like. Yes. So there will be a map somewhere in here, and it will show you ATM, ATM, what each ATM and what they look like, and you can also say you're filtering by location. At least this visualize this what you've just written down, and it gives you a mental image of what it will look like. Now, if you don't like it, you could always prompt it again and say, okay, I don't like it again. Can I make this user story better so that it gives me what I want? But yes, that is the that is one of the promise of Requstory, that it will help you visualize and give you what you envisage, or what you have at the back of your mind. So I hope I've touched on a few. We've still got some other features coming down the line, but we just wanted to talk you through some of this so that you can start using them and start bringing to life some of those your ideas. And then, believe me, you could put together some of these prototypes and put it on Fiverr or Upwork as completed work, or work that you can do for people, and you can also start earning some revenue for it if you package it properly. There's so much and within Requstory that you can make use of. But as we go, also, we're coming up with a solution design where all your user stories will be taken into consideration, and using AI and some other machine learning tools, it will build a complete solution for you, maybe from the front end and not from the back end, but that's usually something that we've reserved for our enterprise users, but it's something we're already thinking of in terms of features to bring into Requstory. I realize I've been speaking for close to 30 minutes. I'll take a break and open the floor for questions. Let's hear from you if you have questions on what you've heard so far.
Beautiful, Mr. Richard. Beautiful one. Please, if we have questions, you can either unmute yourself, or you can keep it in the chat section. That chat one is cool for everybody to type, or you can unmute your mic and speak. I hope there will be questions, because it's been a very long one. I hope we have questions.
Okay, there are a few questions. I think there's one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah. So mine is not a question. It's just an ask. Maybe you can go through all the other models, or what's it called, the settings, product review, all those other tabs, so that we'll see what's in it, especially the
Okay.
product review tab. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Account settings is just your profile, your billing. This is where we want your money. We want you to give us something back for all the work we've been doing. Product review is one I like. So using some APIs, we've extracted stuff that people are building. This is just to be your daily inspiration to go out and build something. And with Requstory, you could actually build something. And this is just to inspire you to say, yeah, somebody, and some of the stuff you will see here are just wacky. Yeah, this is an example of one. Dog care reminder, track your dog daily routine with Lenesh, something for to remind you that your dog needs to go to potty, to eat food, or to exercise. Yeah, people are building stuff, and it's been seen and upvoted around by 131 people. So no idea is too small or too big. This is from Product Hunt, and we've just integrated it so that you can get inspired daily when you come on Requstory. There is one feature, there's an enhancement coming to this where you will be able to come in here and you build something on Requstory. You will be able to come in here and add it and say, yeah, guys, help me review. If you're not going to launch it on Product Hunt, you just want to get some feedback, it will come here. So this is one page that we hope will get bigger as we go, but we've just used the Product Hunt API for now. But yeah, if you want to get inspired daily, just come in here. You will see, you will always see new products and what people are building. And believe me, people are building lots of products these days. Support is just for you to contact us. If you have anything good or nice to say to us, we want to hear it. If you have anything horrible and not so pleasant to say to us, we also want to hear it. So let us know. Get back to us on here. And there is also one tab that will be coming here soon, just to show our roadmap. And it will show you what we're building next. That will our roadmap will also be included on the dashboard. And we're also starting a community also. So there will probably be a link to the community here and also on the landing page at some point. So yes, that's each and every one of these tabs. But yeah, if you really want to get inspired daily, just come to preview. There's always something to inspire you in here. Thank you. Any other question? And just to say, if you're on, the only other thing I just wanted to add was if you're on the free version, you only get one project, but once you're on the pro version, you get access to everything on the site. And for those who want to go on the enterprise version, then you get team collaboration, a few other features that goes into the enterprise ones, aside from the fact that it's all on their portal. You can use their data exclusively. They don't have to use public data and all of that. But for now, free version just gets one project, but I think the pro version is probably the easiest and the cheapest AI tool in play now. For $4.99, you get to write user stories, draw process maps, and build prototypes, which is I would say quite a bargain. So yes, if you can get it now, please do. And we're also doing, just to let people use it and understand it a lot, we're doing $1 a month just to get. So if you really want to just check out if it's worth it, just $1 a month, just come and click in there, you copy the code, and you get to see the effects of the pro version for Requstory. Okay. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Yeah, yes, it does. Thanks.
You're welcome. Any other question? If not, then back to you, Femi.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard, for the amazing session. I mean, it was really enlightening, and we are glad that we have something like this. We have Requstory that we can always go to build our user stories and help with our process maps. Right. So if we do not have any questions, I think we've spent almost an hour. I think it's time for us to draw the curtain for this particular webinar. I would also be sending emails to each and every one of us that joined in today. And like Mr. Richard said, you can always reach out to us if you have any recommendations, if you have questions, if you have any queries. We're always here to listen to you, and always we love to hear your feedback. We love to hear what you think of Requstory. So this is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for your time. We do not take you for granted. And we will also be having webinars like this in the coming weeks, in the coming months. So would love for you to join in as well. Try out Requstory, tell us what you think, go through all the processes, play around with it, and we'd love to hear reviews next time when we meet. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Yes, everyone. Bye.